right, so let's talk about spousal and survivor benefits as it pertains to Social Security. The first thing to understand about spousal benefits is just how the program works overall. Essentially, when you're married, even if one spouse has never worked outside of the home, they're entitled to a Social Security check of their own that's based off of their spouse's earnings history. So for an example, let's say we have Bob and Jane. Bob is entitled to a benefit of $3,000 at full retirement age, and let's just say that's age 67. So as such, Bob's spouse Jane is able to get a 50% spousal benefit of $1,500 at full retirement age. So again, if you're married, you're entitled to at least half of what your spouse gets for Social Security based off of their full retirement age amount, and also the assumption that you wait until your full retirement age as well. Let's talk now about the eligibility just a little bit. When it comes to spousal benefits, each person has to be at least 62 years old. Additionally, in order for someone to claim a spousal benefit, their spouse must have already claimed their benefit. So the worker's benefit then triggers the spousal benefit to be able to be claimed. For divorced spouses, as long as the marriage lasted at least 10 years, you're still able to take a spousal benefit based off of someone you're no longer married to. In the end, the benefit you receive is always the higher of your benefit or 50% of that other person's. So again, it's whichever is higher. We do this presentation live often and people say, well, what if I have multiple spouses? Or what if I have multiple ex-spouses? And what if my ex-spouse has multiple ex-spouses? None of that matters. You get to choose whichever ex-spouse's amount is higher. And even if your ex-spouse has 10 ex-spouses, that has no impact on the amount of benefit that the person's able to get for themselves. A couple other things to know. You can claim the spousal benefit as early as age 62, but the earlier you claim it, the smaller your benefit will be. So again, you get 50% of the higher earner's benefit at 67 or full retirement age. But if you take it at 66, 65, 64, even 62, the earlier you take it, the smaller your benefit. Another important thing to know is delaying your spousal claim beyond full retirement age has no benefit. So if the 50% is available at age 67 and you think that waiting till 68 or 70 will increase that benefit for you, unfortunately that's not how it works. The maximum you can get from a spousal benefit is 50% of the full retirement age amount for the income earning spouse. So let's talk now about survivorship Social Security. This is meant to protect family members, and that could be a current spouse, a former spouse, children, or dependent parents. This benefit works in two ways. First, there's a one-time non-taxable death benefit paid equal to $255. Yes, you heard me right, it's a whole $255. Now, the more impactful benefit is that surviving people that are qualified can receive up to 75% of the benefit amount that the person that passed away would have received. So let's say the person that passed away was going to receive a Social Security benefit of $3,000. Children or the spouse or ex-spouse could get up to 75% of that, or $2,250. What's important to know is each child or spouse can qualify for their own benefit amount. However, there is a family maximum. So let's say there were 2 children and a spouse, and each was entitled to $2,250. Well, the total of that is $6,750, but if the total family max was only $5,000, then $5,000 is the total benefit that would be received by that family. You also have to be aware of the earnings test. This typically pertains to a spouse who's still working in survivorship. If they make more than $22,320, their Social Security benefit can get reduced and even taken away altogether. So especially if the surviving spouse has a significant income, they may not get any Social Security benefit as a survivor at all. Now the kids can still get benefits, but the surviving spouse may not receive the benefits because the earnings limits are pretty dang low up until someone is getting much closer to retirement age. So let's talk a little bit more about that. In order for a person to receive benefits They can be almost any age as long as there's children or qualified individuals they're taking care of. However, if there are no qualifying individuals that a person's taking care of, then the spouse isn't able to get survivorship benefits until age 60. Keep in mind, full benefits could start later at full retirement age, such as 67, but 60 is the earliest a person can get the survivor benefit without taking care of children. Really important to know, you're entitled to your own Social Security based off your work history or the survivor benefit. You can start the survivor at 60 and switch to your own later, or you can start your own benefit at 62 and then switch to the survivor later. There's a lot of different ways to figure out that puzzle, so you want to make sure that you check all the options to make the optimal choice for yourself.